everyone and welcome back to my channel. First of all, Happy New Year, Happy 2021. Hope you've all had a lovely Christmas, lovely festive period, whether you celebrate Christmas or not. 2020 was a rough one. I think everyone can sort of admit that it was a rough one. Obviously it's had its ups and downs, but we can now move on. A brand new year, sort of new year, new me, that sort of thing. New Year resolutions and goals is exactly what we'll be talking about today. But if you do like these videos, do consider liking, consider commenting your thoughts and subscribing. But without further ado, let's get into it. So today we'll be talking about goals and sort of goal setting for the next year. So I've done this myself and I'll share my goals with you in a minute. But basically, goals is you want to set goals so you have something to aim for. Like everything that you do has a purpose and everything that you do has a reason, and there is that end goal in essence. I've already spoken about why we do things, so check out the video above about your reason why, about why you should aim for financial independence. But now we'll be talking about the what and the how, basically how we're going to get there. First of all, when you're setting a goal, you want to make sure it is smart. And you might have heard of this before in sort of school or your extra reading, whatever it might be, but basically I'll go over it quickly so we're all on the same page. So what does SMART stand for? So the S is for specific, M is for measurable, then achievable, realistic, and timely. So specific. So instead of saying, I want to get in shape, you want to say, I want to get a gym membership and work out 3 days a week to be healthier and get in shape. So that's a bit more specific, you put your finger on it and you know what you're doing. M is measurable, so how can you measure it? Is there a way of sort of quantifying it, or how will you know when it's done? Achievable, has it been done before? Is it possible or is it impossible? Then you've got realistic. So realistic means, do you have the time and the resources to achieve that goal? And then T is timely, so is there a time limit? Is there a deadline? Basically, if you don't put yourself basically under some kind of time pressure, if there's no urgency, you have no motivation to do it. So once you've set yourself those goals, write them down and envision them. So basically you want to have them written down somewhere so that you know what you're aiming for, you can keep reminding yourself. And as I've spoken about it in my last video, basically someone who's written down your goals and basically keep reminding themselves of them is more likely to basically reach them than someone who doesn't. It's almost self-explanatory, it's almost common sense. If you have a goal and you have it written down, if you're looking at it every day, then you're more likely to reach it. And again, think big. I don't know, basically there's no limit, think big, because if you think big and you don't reach it, but you've made some progress, then you think, wow, want to become a millionaire, I've only made £500,000. That's a huge step. So think big, and then write it down on a piece of paper. So for example, I don't know if you can see that. If you can't, it basically says, get rich, 1 million subs. So I've got this written on my piece of paper, and then you want to put it down somewhere where you can see it every day. Probably frame it or something else instead. But at the same time, you want to have smaller goals that you can basically reach more easily and that keep you on track. So what I mean by that is, if you have one big goal, if you don't have anything that keeps you pushing forwards every week or every day, then you're probably not going to reach it, or it'll be more difficult to. So just bear that in mind. So have a big goal, sort of think big, be ambitious is what I'm saying. And at the same time, have those little goals that have those little wins that you can have along the way that will keep you pushing and keep you going towards that big goal. On the topic of being sort of better every day and always pushing yourself, this is just a quick graph just to essentially visualize how 1% better or worse every day for a year can basically make such a huge difference. So the top one, the improvement, if you improve yourself by 1% every single day, you'll be 37.78 times better at the end of the year. So you're essentially bettering yourself by 38 times, or 38 times better than you are now. Whereas if you do 1% worse, it basically means you're 0.03 of what you started. So essentially you got worse by, that's around 33 times. So what this goes to show is that if you do put your mind into something and you've really worked towards it, you can really improve and you can make a difference. So this is what I'm saying, have a goal, have those little goals so that you can basically see your progress and really get the 1% better every single day. So once you've set yourself those goals, how will you achieve them and how will you make sure you get better every single day? So I think it's all about mindset, and without getting too philosophical, Whether you believe you can do something or not, you're right. And what I mean is, if you think you can do something, you've already broken that barrier, that sort of that mental block, and you think you can do it, you're going to achieve it. You're going to give it a go, and you think you can achieve it, therefore you're almost halfway there and you're more likely to succeed. If you look at something and think, oh, I don't think I can do that, and you sort of put off and that mental block starts, then you're less likely to achieve it. So I know it can be difficult, but I always try and stay positive and optimistic. And basically what that leads me on to is, look, we've been in this pandemic for long enough, and who knows how long it's going to last for. Let's hope it doesn't, and I do hope you're all well and safe. But look, why don't you better yourself every day, or why don't you do something that will benefit you in the future? Like, don't get me wrong, I like a good Netflix series as much as the next person, but instead of watching, say, 236 episodes of Friends, why don't you read a personal development book once in a while?
How dare you?
I know it's a weird thought, but like, I'm not the greatest reader in the world either, so don't get me wrong, I sometimes do struggle to focus, or thinking, oh, I could put on a movie or a Netflix series, but it's having that self-discipline and building a habit. So if you're not a big reader, like for example I'm not, I use Headway, and this is not sponsored by Headway, but Headway, if you do want to sponsor me, please reach out. But Headway is basically this app where you can basically read a book, or like a summary of a book, in say 15-20 minutes. So that's one of my goals, to basically read more through the app, because it keeps you focused and you can read a book or get like a good gist of a book, or sort of the main point. And with this app, even though it's subscription based, you can get a 7 free-day trial, and at the same time there are sort of now and again you can get a free book. So give it a try. It's called Headway, and let me know what you think. So moving on, I wanted to share my goals with you for 2021. So my first one is, I want to get in shape. But you just said get in shape is not a specific enough goal, Stan. Yes, you're right, it's not specific enough. And the actual goal is to work out, whether it's at home or in the gym, work out 4 times a week to get healthier and get in shape. On top of that, this year, last year in 2020, I was able to run 150 miles, so I want to up that to 200 miles. No, not 500 miles, 200 miles, and I want to achieve that in 2021. A financial goal that I want to reach is, I would like to max out my lifetime ISA. So as I mentioned in my previous video, which again I'll put somewhere up here, is that you can put up to £4,000 every tax year into your lifetime ISA. Another financial goal that I would like to achieve is invest at least £100 every month into my portfolio, and this is on top of the Moneybox stocks and shares ISA that I've mentioned last time. But this is just in my Trading 212 portfolio, where it's just stocks and various bits. If you do want to see it, let me know and I'll do a video on that one. But that's what I want to do, £100 at least a month into that portfolio and grow it. Coming back to reading, I would like to read a book on Headway at least once a week. And that might seem really easy, because again, it would only take 15-20 minutes, but I think I want to get into the habit of reading. Once I think I get used to that, I might up that a little bit, so we'll see sort of maybe after a few months. And on top of that, once I think I get into the habit, I do want to read more actual books, but I haven't really got a goal for that, because I want to see how Headway goes first. And the next one is in terms of YouTube. So even though I said 1 million subs, if you can see that, if not, bad luck. If you didn't see that, it said 1 million, but what I actually want to achieve is 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2021, which I think is very reasonable. I think part of the goal is to be more consistent on YouTube, do more videos, potentially do some collaborations with YouTubers. So A, if you want to see that, let me know, and B, if you're interested, let me know. But that's the goal, 1,000 by December. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, please. And lastly, a career goal. So at the moment at work, I'm studying for CIMA, which is a professional qualification, sort of in the finance industry. So this year in 2021, I would like to pass at least 60% of my exams that I have left to do. Basically, the ultimate goal is to finish all my exams by May 2022. So next May, I'd like to finish it all, which would be great, and I think that's very, very doable. So that would realistically mean I have to do 60% of them this year. So I'll keep you updated again, but that's the plan. All I will say is write yourself a set of goals, envision them, and get started. Get started. So whatever you want to do, whatever you want to achieve, get started, because your future self will thank you for it. You thank yourself later. So if you want to start investing, open up a Trading 212 account. Got a referral link down below. Use it and start investing. If you want to, I don't know, if you want to get in shape, start running, start walking. If you, some gyms are closed at the moment in the UK, so why don't you just start doing home workouts? So look, there's so many possibilities, especially with YouTube as well. If you want to do something, do it. At the end of the day, do what makes you happy and what you think will benefit you in the future. So I think that's the one key point I always come back to, is be happy and do more of what makes you happy. So thank you very much for watching. Do let me know in the comment section below what your goals are, or what you think of my goals. How basically we can try and push each other to get to those goals, but make sure they are realistic and specific and all sorts. But thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate you being here. Have a lovely 2021. All the best. And as always, save money so that one day that money can save you. I'll see you in the next video.